For years, millions of people have been demanding the files be released, a cry that was echoed by the biggest names in media. But when those records finally surfaced, containing names many never expected or hoped to see, everything changed overnight. The very people who were shouting for transparency are now scrambling to protect the heroes they found within them. This is exactly what Akademiks is calling out Charlamagne Tha God for. He called on protecting Jay after certain documented ties came to light in those infamous records. 1 minute, Charlamagne is on the Breakfast Club demanding the full truth.
Thing is this, I don't care who's on the list, everybody gotta go. Burn it all down. Like that's just simple as that. Mutually assured destruction, whoever's on that list need to go.
The next, he's doing a complete 180 because the names on the list were a part of his very circle.
See the story about Jay-Z, the woman is like, it was Jay-Z, Harvey in 1996. Reasonable Doubt came out in 1996. Like, what are we doing? It was clear, and you can see who pushes the narrative.
This raises a massive question. Is the culture actually going to hold Jay accountable, or will the media just cover it up and pretend it never happened? Right now, it looks like the industry is either terrified of speaking up, or they're being funded to stay silent, showing us exactly how fake these personalities truly are.
When it came time to Jay-Z, hip-hop culture came out, I've never seen this. Hey, that was false. We don't believe that. That categorically never happened. How come Jay-Z just gets the blanket pass? Like no, never. Oh, Jay-Z's just no, not J-Lo.
In a perfect world, the media is supposed to provide unbiased, truthful reporting on the industries they cover. When controversial news emerges, we expect these personalities to report the facts without picking a side. But as we're seeing now, this isn't the reality. The media is for sale, and the uber rich have bought it out. This has created a massive problem. The media no longer reports the news, they spin it. They paint narratives to protect their funding and their connections, turning the industry into a personal shield for those at the top. This is exactly the play we're seeing in this situation between Charlamagne and Jay-Z. Charlamagne has spent years as the leading voice of the Breakfast Club, built on his Donkey of the Day segment where he blasts anyone he feels is out of line.
Oh man, Charlamagne, you giving Donkey of the Day to who now?
The Donkey of the Day for Thursday, October 2nd goes to Anika Tanya Mirage Pay.
But when the document finally surfaced and Jay was connected to it, he didn't receive a Donkey of the Day. Instead of reporting on it like any other trending news, he went on his podcast to claim these documented accounts were incredible because they were just reports made to the authorities. This is the exact angle I told you the media would use. This is why I believe the list was specifically released that way to allow this to be the narrative. Akademiks caught Charlamagne backpedaling in real time, pointing out the hypocrisy of wanting everyone exposed until the spotlight hit his own circle.
I want to point out in real time how some of these switch-ups are happening here, chat. And shout out to my man Charlamagne. This is my man's. But he was on the radio, much demanding. Bring it out! We need to see it! It sounded amazing when we thought it was only the elites we didn't know and we really hated that were going to be accused and supposedly had some proof of doing the nasty. This is before the list got released. I love Charlamagne, but I got to point it out.
I think it's this. I don't care who's on the list, everybody gotta go.
Hold up now.
I don't care who's on the list, everybody gotta go.
Wait,
nobody talking about that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list, everybody gotta go.
Wait, hold up a second.
Talking about all down.
Wait, I'm not hearing right. I think I got a little bit of earwax popping. Before the list was announced, and everybody who was speaking and demanding the list, they're thinking none of my homies on there, right? This is how they communicated about said list.
In his New York mansion, but nobody talking about that. My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list, everybody gotta go. Burn it all down.
After the list came out? The list came out. All right, let's talk about it. Why you want to talk about that? Wait, what? Nobody needs to be protecting the PDFs, and we don't care what party they are. Now they dropped the files, and would you believe?
I want to get to the Pusha T, Jay-Z, Eminem of it all, because that's what went crazy on my algorithm. I don't understand why y'all are so quick to want to tear our own down without doing.
No, hold up.
My thing is this. I don't care who's on the list. Everybody got to go.
Unless they could. Yeah, we don't care if they're Democrat or Republican, but we do care if they're a third party. Oh, hold up.
The media wants you to believe that because these are unverified reports, they mean nothing. But many of these accounts came from those labeled as victims by the very authorities investigating the case. Just because the industry calls it a tip doesn't mean it didn't happen. While Charlamagne tries to claim Jay-Z wasn't in those circles back in '96, he conveniently ignores the fact that Jay-Z was in the same orbit as the Mogul Harvey just a few years later. This wasn't just a casual meeting, it was a high-level business deal. In September 2016, they signed a 2-year exclusive first-look deal to develop major film and TV projects. This partnership birthed the Khalif Broder story and the Trayvon Martin docuseries. But the connection went beyond the film projects. They were seen together as far back as 2007, ironically at a Keep a Child Alive benefit and at a 2009 Victoria's Secret fashion show, an event that interestingly enough comes up repeatedly in the records. There's even footage where Jay-Z is asked a political question and Harvey immediately steps in to answer for him, giving off what many described as major handler vibes.
In your thoughts on Donald Trump and what it means for what it means for mass incarceration?
You know what? This is a labor of love from Jay, and as a result, he's my friend. We're here to talk about that and nothing else.
So the he wasn't running with the crowd defense doesn't hold water when you're literally signing multi-million-dollar deals with them and showing up at red carpets together. And we haven't even touched on Jay's public relationship with Puff, whom he has openly praised. Charlotte says he's just tired of seeing a black man torn down, but the reality is likely much more calculated. He just signed the reported $200 million extension with iHeartMedia in December 2025. He's entering that 1% circle now, and he knows the rules. You don't bite the hand that can make it all go away. He already learned that lesson the hard way. Back in 2009, when he was still coming up as a radio host at Philly's 100.3 The Beat, Charlamagne orchestrated an interview with Beanie Sigel. At the time, Sigel was a former Rockefeller artist who had just turned on Jay-Z, releasing the scathing diss track What You Talking About. During that 30-minute sit-down, Sigel aired Jay out completely, making several heavy claims against the mogul. The interview went viral instantly, but the fallout was even faster. By the following Monday, Charlamagne was called into the office and handed a pink slip. Despite having no prior issues, he was told the station was moving in a different direction. The timing was so precise that blogs and fans immediately alleged Jay had pulled the strings to get him fired. While it was never 100% confirmed, Charlamagne admitted in later interviews that he honestly didn't know if Jay was involved.
I don't know if Jay-Z got me fired or not, but this is going to read very well in a book one day.
But in my opinion, it's pretty obvious. Charlamagne learned right then why you don't mess with the man who holds the power. Even if he wanted to call Jay out today, maybe hand him a donkey of the day for his proximity to men like Harvey or for appearing in those records. He knows it's a danger to his career and that $200 million check he just signed. Now, Charlamagne is the one running in those 1% circles, likely due to the connections he made with people like Jay. He's a frequent leader at the UJC Social Justice Summit, an initiative founded by Rock Nation. He's collaborated with Team Rock on prison reform, and he's hosted Jay-Z for multiple exclusive interviews. The truth is, he can't afford to call him out. The media is bought. How are we supposed to trust Charlamagne to be unbiased when his entire platform benefits from these relationships? We can't trust these major platforms when they are more afraid of upsetting the billionaires who fund them than they are of being labeled a hypocrite and ruining their reputation. But let's look deeper, because this isn't just about one radio host or one mogul. This is about a systematic problem that plagues most major media. Notice how whenever a major name from the 1% is mentioned in the records, a distraction immediately follows. Suddenly, the media starts pushing a new beef, a new celebrity scandal, or a heartwarming story about the person's charity work. They use social justice and community reform as a shield. If you criticize them, the media, voices like Charlamagne, will frame it as you tearing down a black man. They weaponize our own community struggles to protect the people at the very top who are rubbing elbows with the Harveys of the world. They want you to focus on the philanthropy so you don't look at the partnership. It's a classic magic trick. Look at the right hand doing good so you don't see what the left hand was doing back in 96, 2007, or 2016. The industry doesn't just want your support, they want your blind admiration. Don't you ever question those at the top, and you better accept this narrative we feed you. They label the truth as unverified even when we're looking at the official documents. The goal is to make you feel like you're the crazy one for noticing the patterns, but the patterns are right there in the open. When you look at Jay's career, the signs seem to have always been there. From the past moguls and artists he has associated with, to his own questionable romantic relationships over the years, he seems to fit the archetype of the man who runs around in those circles. It's clear that Charlamagne is trying to become Jay-Z. He knows he can't call him out. When the people who are paid $200 million to talk suddenly go silent on the most important topics of our time, the silence tells you everything you need to know. They aren't media personalities for the culture, they are puppets for the gatekeepers. They are making sure that Jay stays on his throne, regardless of what's written in those unsealed files. Now, I think it would only be fair that I point out that Akademiks is a part of this problem too. He too seems to use his platform to run narratives that benefit people he has close ties with, hence his relationship with Drake. Many people feel that Ak calling out Charla is because Charla has ties with Jay, and there's allegedly industry tension between Drake and Jay. So in a way, Ak quote-unquote exposing Jay-Z is motivated by his very own ties to Drake, meaning he himself is guilty of providing biased coverage influenced by his connections to powerful music moguls. Like I said, this is a problem with media as a whole, and Ak is guilty of this too. At the end of the day, I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm here to show you what they're trying to hide. If the media won't hold these people accountable, then it's up to the people to do it. But I want to hear from you. Is Charlamagne just being a loyal friend, or is he a tame voice for the elite? Drop a comment below and let me know your thoughts. And if you want to deep dive into what the Bad Bunny halftime show actually meant, make sure to watch my last video. If you want more videos weekly revealing the truth, make sure to like this video and subscribe. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.